Because we aren't meant to do this alone. I wrote those words early on in my career. Someone had asked me why I do what I do, and somewhere in the same sentence asked about a tagline for my business and how do I explain it and my why and all the other things I didn't hear. What I was listening to was the feeling my gut had when I said it. It was like every other word had fallen away. It just came out. It was a true sentiment then, and it is an even truer sentiment now. So I wanted to take a moment to break these words down to really get to the core of this message, the message that has guided me my whole career. It's more than words or a phrase or a sentence. It is a living, breathing idea that in this moment is probably the most important thing I could ever share with you. And that's not hyperbole. It's real, it's honest, and it's truth. Because it's the answer to the question. Often can exist on its own. And I remember asking my parents when I was young for sweet tarts at the store. For some reason, they were my favorite childhood candy. And I would get, no, not today. And I would ask why. I was always asking why. And my mom would say, because. And that was usually enough. It stood on its own, no explanation needed. And when anything came after it, that would be the answer to the question. Probably most likely why I never liked math. Why, I would ask when I was given a formula to solve for something, and I got because some guy said so. We. Quite simply, we are in a time where it is so much easier to worry about yourself. And often that feels awfully challenging. Making sure you and your loved ones are okay, your family, your team, your company, your town, your community, your state or province, your country, your world. The very moment we think and breathe and move outside of ourselves, it becomes we. And we are in need of taking care of each other every day, and especially this day. The moment we started to run in blob formation to form circles around the soccer ball when we were 4, we learned about we. The first time we went on a family trip or showed up for a family dinner or sat in a park full of strangers listening to the same music from the same stage in the same venue, every movement and connection was born of we. Aren't. The version our minds create of our understanding of what it means to not be something. And there are a lot of things I can think about not being, a lot of things I can think about not wanting to be. And I would imagine a whole conversation around what I don't want to be or who I am not would take up way more time and be meaningless. So we aren't going to walk that path. Meant. Often where some stumbling happens, finding meaning and purpose, the act of meaning, not knowing if we understand it or not. The knowing of why I am here. I am meant to do great things, or I'm meant to solve problems, or I'm meant for so much more. Seeking meaning, often unknowingly, needing to feel seen. To do, the act of all actions. The doing is the point at which the words turn into movement. To do is forward, it's what's coming, it's what's ahead. And I refuse to not see the good in that. This can pertain to that in which you are sitting, this life, this work, this play, this moment on a sunny Thursday, yearning for another soul to take this walk with me. This moment, this moment, this moment, alone. At night, when I close my eyes, the feeling of quiet and solitude is what leads me to sleep. It also is what makes my throat tighten and almost close. My eyes start to well up and the warmth spread in my chest, the white, hot loneliness that I imagine you also may feel sometimes. The burn and desire to live inside out instead of only outside in. I can be alone at my desk working with a client on a problem, alone in my thoughts, drowning or swimming alone, reading, running, reminiscing alone, in my car singing to whatever is on my radio, windows down, of course, Because the moment the notes spill from my car onto the road around me, the unwitting driver next to me took away my need or my fear of being alone. And isn't this what we all want? To feel independent yet needed, to feel safe and yet push boundaries, to show up exactly where and when we need to the most for ourselves, for each other. If that's not why we're here, I think we're doing it wrong. We stumble into this time and space, never knowing the magnitude of where we are, like the lights were just thrown on in the middle of a starless sky in the wilderness. We are attracted to the idea of bringing our dark loneliness to the table, to share the lift and the carry, to bring us back to each other, because we aren't meant to do this alone.